Alright, so every once in a while, and I've already done this once, when there's holes that chipmunks have used for a den, and they're no longer using it, as far as I'm concerned. I haven't seen Call You come out of this hole right there. Is the light on? Damn it. Stupid light's on. But I haven't seen Call You come out of that hole in a long time. And so I put some pine cones down, and when I came back from St. John, well, I actually noticed it today, but the pine cones are out. So is Call You still around, but he's going out of a different hole? He's not showing up here. I mean, I'm only having 2 chipmunks show up, and it's the Beyonder and the one that I think is Sweetie. And it's weird because, also weird I should say, because Jerkface the Wonder Squirrel had that weird, disgusting growth on the side of his body, and all of a sudden, actually before I left, I kind of noticed this weird kind of bump on Sweetie, the one I think is Sweetie, and now it's kind of like, it's a little bit, it's not, like, it doesn't look as, like, the one on Jerkface looked like a freaking, like, busted boil or something. It was gross. And the chipmunk lump that it has doesn't look like the one on the squirrel, but it's in the same kind of relative place on its body. So I was thinking about calling SPCA or the conservation people to see if maybe there's some disease going around or something. But I mean, if it is a disease, like Jerkface seemed to get through it and it's cleared up. Like, he's got some kind of discoloration of his fur where it was, but yeah, it's not like an open kind of gross wound like it was. Man, I don't see any of them. Crazy. Alright, I gotta get this light off anyways. Hey buddy, it's just you tonight. There you go. Hey, see you later. Yeah, I haven't seen Sweetie at all. I don't know. Whoa. Maybe one of the neighbors ran him over or something. I don't know. I don't know. They haven't been around. Alright, I'm gonna turn on the light here so I can see it a little bit better, even though what I'm talking about is a light. You know me. If you know me, you know that I love flashlights. Got many flashlights, all kinds of different ones. Lately, there's all these new LED battery operated lights, like, these suckers here, and, Christmas lights and that kind of shit. And then there's some cool lamps. So, you probably, if you're a dollar store shopper, you've probably seen this. So, there's a lamp you can, like, it's got sticky, so you can stick it anywhere. And then, the coolest part, I should have gone and got this first, but, is that it's got a remote control. Which really isn't, isn't really that cool. But what I want to see is that if this remote control will control all of them, and then I can get some more of them, and I can just come in and go, whop, turn them on. It's got a lower setting and a brighter setting, just 2 settings yet. And then, hey, what's going on with that lamp? Well, maybe the batteries are dying. And you can also, there's a 30-minute timer on it too, which is kind of cool. So yeah, so that's kind of neat. And I got that today. So. And I kind of like, I've always wanted to have some gadgets for, or some lighting for my stuff that's on the shelves. Because I like my stuff, and I think it should be highlighted. What I've always wanted is, I want to get some, like, not globes, but they're like those glass, kind of round things. I don't know what they're called. Domes, I guess. Yeah, they're domes. Glass domes for my Hellraiser cubes up there. and have one in each. And there is a place on the internet that actually does have domes made specifically for the Hellraiser cubes. It's a guy that actually sells the cubes and some display stuff. And I think they're like maybe over $100 each. I think American. Like I mean, it's glass and it's got a great base, and I get it, but yeah, I'd like to, like to find a cheaper price. Not necessarily. I mean, even a cheaper product. Even if it's plastic. But I don't even think I've ever seen any of those like plastic domes. But yeah, it'd be cool to have those because that's how they're in a couple places displayed in the movies Hellraiser. So that would be cool. Pretty soon, I'm gonna have to maybe pack all this stuff up, pack it up, and move. And I'm hearing that I can possibly apply because I'm disabled for, like in brand new apartment buildings, subsidized apartments. Yeah, and I not that what I have here is not adequate. It is perfectly adequate. The fridge runs. Got a pretty much brand new stove. Like stuff like electrical. Like, yeah. I wish. I mean, I don't know if I'd do anything more, but I wouldn't be as, you know, squeamish about the electrical, because like I mean, unless I ran like an extension cord into the kitchen, I don't know, it'd be a pain in the ass to be able to ground this electronics, like my laptop, my stereo, and my TV are not grounded, because in the living room here, none of them are grounded. In the kitchen, there's a couple of ones that are grounded over, and not even too sure if they're actually grounded. Um, so, but it's definitely old wiring. So I'd like, like a brand new apartment with like brand new, bath fixtures and a bathroom and a brand new kitchen, and brand new cupboards, and hey, I've lived in. I haven't lived in the worst. Well, I lived in a car for a while. But apartment-wise, I haven't been in like squalor. I've always had pretty decent places to stay. But it would be nice as I'm getting older. Who knows how many more years I have left. It's something like with my dog Alita. I was told she could, live, 10, 11 possibly, and she made it to 14, but once she reached about 9, 10, I mentally prepared myself that she could go at any time. And now that I've reached, 47, 45, I mean, really, you could go anytime. Anybody can go anytime. But yeah, I mean, now that I'm 45, I'm a little more conscious of it. And, so I'd like the rest of my days, my years, be cool to be in a new place with new stuff, and stay there as long as I can, kind of thing. Which would probably mean I'd have to live in an apartment building, but there's some kind of smaller, or not necessarily huge, massive complexes that are being built around the city all the time. So could be a possibility, and it's something to check into. Yeah, yeah. I just heard some chipmunks, or a chipmunk. Sweetie was actually around earlier, but I just haven't seen her the last 2 times I've gone out. Oh, Jesus, kitty. Fuck. Why do you do that? She's got food in her bowls, and she doesn't want to eat it because she's bored of it or whatever. And, yeah. And so sometimes I go to the kitchen, she'll be here, and then all of a sudden she's like right underneath my front of my feet. But this time it was like right when I hit the counter, she like jumped up and kind of jumped into me. But anyways, it's nice to be home. Had a great time on the weekend with my brother and my brothers and my sister-in-laws. Gordon and Crystal obviously going to be married in a not too distant future. So yeah, it was great to spend time with them. I really appreciate being down there. It's nice to get away. I was saying, like, and Gordon's, kind of offered this before, or presented it, that I could move down to St. John. Um, and I love my bro. I love to hang out with him. And I wouldn't, like I told them, St. John, wouldn't be too bad. But one, I've just set up all of my medical here. It took me like 5 years to get a doctor, and the portable Rant supplement, which I believe is still good anywhere in New Brunswick. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't to give up all this medical stuff now and have to rebuild it would be a fucking pain in the ass. And there's some of it I'm not really happy to have gone through. Oh shit! I gotta take my vitamins. Yeah, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get some of this stuff that I've fought for over the years here, and to go to a new city would probably mean that I'd have to fight again, and I don't. At this age and all the fighting for stuff that I've had to do throughout my life, I just don't look forward. I don't want to fight. I don't. Uh, you have to do it. Like there's stuff you have to do because you can't wait on them or expect that when you hang up the phone that they're thinking about you at any point. They have lives and they have jobs with other people's. Talking about government workers that are, whatever case or whatever grant or whatever subsidy you're applying for. You have to be on them and you have to fight, and not all the time, but some of the stuff is pretty intrusive into your life and your financial account and stuff like that. And in BC, it wasn't like that, and I wasn't used to it being that way here. But it's a poor province, and they have to try and ensure that people that are applying for programs are the people that need it the most, or the people that are going to appreciate and use it as best as they can. You know, they don't want to give it to people that are going to rip them off somehow with it. So they got to make sure they know what they're doing. So I get that, but still, it's intrusive. And it's like with some stuff, you have to do it every year, and it's like, come on, like, didn't we already do this? Don't they already know this? Like, come on, like, really? I mean, maybe every 3 or 4 years or something, check in and say, hey, anything changed or whatever, or. But, and I mean, hey, if, you catch somebody fucking up and they have to repay, then they have to repay. Well, I don't think if it's a government fuck up, you shouldn't have to repay. But that's something you have to fight for too. I think you have to appeal it as much as you can and do whatever you can to say fuck off. Yeah. Anyways, rambling. Waiting for the SpaceX Starhopper is doing a 150-meter hop test, and they've done some other tests before. And my buddy Larry, who's on the west coast there, and he did work. He's done some pretty interesting work in not in the space industry, but rockets and stuff like that. So yeah, we like to check out these live broadcasts of launches and tests and shit like that. It's cool, man. This is the future. It's the future, people. Look at that beautiful sunset. Look at those striking colors. This camera doesn't do justice. Oh, lights just came on.